Martini predicted.
They
knew that the Brood was going to come. Their answer, the TB or the Morph, they go with the Terrorblade. It's a risky option though, right? This hero, we don't see it a lot, and when we have, it didn't look great.
No, it's had some difficulties. For a couple tournaments, some players are still trying to bring it back, but we've seen players take advantage of the slowness of this hero, the ways you can pressure it. We'll see if it's going to be different from Cloud9 today, as they've gone for some comfort heroes and stuff like that, but a lineup that maybe wants to avoid fights once they start getting a bit of tempo started, because they have this NP who can split push. They have these illusions that potentially are going to get all split pushing as well too. So let's see how these lanes end up going down and what matchups we get to, because I'm seeing Marley's parking some webs here for now.
So he wants to play for the bounty rune here. Fishman is going to be able to grab it first though, as he steps down. So I guess the question is, obviously we heard from Mastini, Cloud9 side of things, they were predicting that the Brood was going to come. Yep. But from Falcons side of things, obviously the Brood is not something that they pull out all the time. So what do you think it was about today that Falcons said, you know what, we're going to catch them out off guard, which they apparently didn't, with the Brood?
Well, I think it's probably something that we saw yesterday, how much that Brood started getting popularized. Well, gaming's been playing it a lot, but how dominant it was. It just kind of shuts down. It's this anti-carry that also scales. It builds auras, and it applies a lot of pressure if you don't have proper Brood answers. But you know, they said that they were very ready for it, so I'm looking forward to see what they're going to be able to do with this type of lane, because they did pick a very strong lane in particular just to answer the Brood for the first few levels. The Bane on Fishman, his classic, and watching with this super high armor Terrorblade. But again, we'll see how this Terrorblade does end up doing overall in the game. And the other thing that's interesting is, I think Cloud9, you know, with this Nature's Prophet, we saw BBT try to do this versus Falcons yesterday. The first few minutes was good. It just was afterwards that things got devastating.
Fishman, I'm getting chased down quite a bit, but also Watson getting a good few hits in onto Crit already in this lane. I mean, we'll see if they get the chance to get aggressive once a few levels are there, and Watson has some points. The Metamorphosis could be a lane in which they could look to fight back.
Strong lanes. I mean, I'm mostly going to be looking at the mid lane in particular for these first few levels. No one doing a great job of controlling the CS here, first 3 waves. Yeah,
with some great performances from some mid prophets, and yeah, some great performances from no one time and time again in that mid lane.
Oh, it's the Monkey King, right?
Oh yeah, probably needs just
reconnect.
Just need the quick
reconnect. Classic, you know, Amar pricing. I love Monkey King inside the booth or something as well too.
And then this top lane, I mean, there's something as well you were sort of saying for Cloud9's draft as it was developing, as you were a little bit concerned about the burst damage output.
Yeah.
Does that concern still remain?
I think it can be an issue if the Nature's Prophet starts to struggle and stuff like that, but if he's able to get his tempo going, these Wrath of Natures, they're very potent, so could look to get involved off of that one. It's just this Rubik in particular, you know, we haven't seen it too much. It's kind of a risky pick because it's dependent on what you get to steal to be able to apply damage once the game does start to kick off, so. But I think mostly for me, I'm going to be looking at least early game from no one, how much he's going to be able to dictate and make those early aggressive moves. Because looking at the DK, these two just can't really pressure a DK. You know, the Kunk and the Rubik, the damage is pretty underwhelming early on.
Yeah, every reason to believe that Skeeter should have pretty free farm in this lane, unless yeah, some sort of massive mistake is made. But unlikely from these two. Yeah, sure.
You know, Fishman
if no one comes in, or yeah, but a twin gate play.
Yeah, there's like lots of different movement we could see coming out from them. I think Fishman's been one of the most active, in particular on his like 5, where he'll just like ditch a lane and just start making these aggressive moves. The one game we did see that the most, of course, Watson was playing like an Invoker, where he could obviously commit a lot as well. So maybe not too early on, but we'll see. Crit does get slept down bottom.
So if they got the damage here with the Metamorphosis, I think they might. Crit's in trouble, and indeed Watson. It's going to be able to claim that first blood. They hit the level 2s and just are going to have that bit better of a power spike in comparison to that of Falcons when they hit their level 2s down here. They're quick to make the play, and Crit's caught off guard.
It's the Fishman classic. They got that level 2, a couple extra of these denies just gets that edge to be able to catch Crit off guard. Beautifully done. Neither mid laner needs a bottle, which is a bit interesting. I feel like we don't see this too often. It's just like one guy doesn't need a bottle, the other one does, so they are constantly playing around who wants to trade them. So it's just going to be kind of back and forth trades with players backpacking items. And we see there Mischief dodges, at least to dodge some of that sprout damage that Malrine is using to do a little bit better in this lane. But so far it's still been no one kind of dominating it.
Just able to slightly have that edge, just sort of what at the moment Malrine and I mean Amar sort of the last hits he's a little bit behind, but he's still getting a lot of denies in the Brood down here.
Yep.
So still able to sit safely in the lane.
Yeah, and overall it's like every time meta's up, it's always the same thing versus this Terrorblade, right? That's when you have to be a bit more careful, at least as the actual 3 position in the lane. Meta on cooldown for 80 seconds, Amar should be pretty safe down here. Especially with the backup of like a stun, once Crit does have level 2, which he does now, and Oh, okay. A free courier.
Not in an easy Lotus there of Kataomi.
They got both of the Lotuses, so on top of having good CS in the lanes at the moment, they do claim those. You see that Malrine is starting to at least reestablish things in that mid lane, so.
He's going to be kept pretty low, though. In terms of what's coming out to me, yeah, he's got a Salve coming out.
Yeah, I was about to say he needs some type of extra regen.
No one doing a very good job of keeping him rather low now. That he's got the extra point as well, and Sprout ready for the setup and preparing for his potency when it comes to making those rotations with the teleport if he sees a chance on these side lanes.
What's really interesting to me about these two, this mid lane matchup kind of in a way, is the Monkey King's done good versus most heroes, and same thing for Nature's Prophet, but both of them have moved very often. We've seen these Monkey Kings just kind of leave the lane and park themselves in an opposing lane and just kind of try to bully from there. Nature's Prophet can do kind of similar, so we can see some pretty much identical rotations maybe to match each other.
That's true. I mean, would you say out of the two of them, who's more likely to be hungrier to make the move first? You know, who's going to be following who?
They're both going to be moving.
Just pretty similar.
Yeah, it's just going to be similar. It's just whoever hits the 6 first, it's probably a little bit easier for no one because he's got the burst that he doesn't have to always get involved either. He can probably just Wrath of Nature and then continue to pressure mid. Because that pressure for the mid, it does start to kick in once this tree is getting these extra hits on. See even a glyph used just in case for just a few hits because there's this double wave under the tower.
And as the lane continues, especially this bottom lane, Amar continue to do a very good job with the denies.
Absolutely.
You know, up to 18 and 12 against the 19 and 6. It's close, but Amar certainly having the slight edge here with the amount of XP's taken away from the two of them.
He has yet to show that ability that he's going to skill as well, too. He's only got the webs at the moment, so hasn't even been using his incapacitating bite or anything like that to mess with them.
Yeah, super strong laning from him so far. And what situation manager, when they sort of talked, I mean, we had Astini talk about their confidence in picking the Terrorblade against the Spider, against the Brood. Was that with expectations for them to be able to make the Brood's lane hard, or is it outside of that where you would imagine they feel the Terrorblade's strength lies in this matchup?
I think it's just overall across the board in the game. But maybe perhaps a little bit, maybe he thought he was going to go a little bit better here. Yeah. Samar, I mean, 15 is quite a lot.
It's a lot, yeah.
But that's a risk, you know, we talked about the risk of Terrorblade in general, right? Some players still like to play it, but it's not been having the best win chance in these last few tournaments in particular. It hasn't really gotten too many buffs, so see what Watson's going to do with it.
Yeah, all in all, across the board, nobody getting completely left behind in farm on these first few minutes in the lanes. Relatively close stuff.
6-minute power rune. No one, he's got the ult. Malrine's actually getting active a little bit first, but there's going to be that match from either the Wrath of Nature or a TP.
He's going to want to hover around, as you're saying, to the power rune spawn, see if he gets lucky with the top spawn of it. We'll see. It's going to be something nice and aggressive, like an amplified damage or a haste rune, ideally. It's just going to be the shield rune.
Does he make it? Looks like he should. Can he kill it in time?
No, he can.
Nice.
So nobody's going to be getting that one. Easy denied. Bottom lane.
Instant move.
They're going to make another play. Finding these opportunities here each and every time with the Metamorphosis to set up and catch crit out a second time now in this laning stage.
And they were a bit low just from that Wrath that he had thrown earlier. And now, the Metamorphosis is up to perhaps get some tower pressure here too. Up top, though.
He's going to try and make the play on the Snake King. He's got leaps at the ready. So he'll be fine under the tower. Turns with the arrow.
Perfect.
Beautiful angle. Gets the connection. And with the Starstorm coming in, they'll get the kill. Falcons strike back on the top lane.
Without a setup there.
At bottom as well, they're getting in under the tower. Fishman, he brings them out incredibly low. Won't quite have the burst to finish him off though, and Malrine has turned up. Fishman, is there any way for him to play his way out? This doesn't look like it, so Malrine will be able to come in with a rotation and pick up a kill for himself.
1-for-1 wisdom exchange, all things right in the world. We've been seeing a lot of games where these wisdoms are so crucial, especially in the first 7 minutes. It can be devastating if one of your supports gets these level 6 super late, so all things right in the world. Doesn't mean that we're going to get some perhaps normal level 6s, not these 14-minute level 6s that we've had a couple times. Bottom again. I mean, Mars showed very low.
He does have 2 points in the insatiable hunger if he's able to fight back, but he is not. He's not able to get anywhere close to anyone to get any hits in.
Instant tip.
Caught out there. I think, as I say, he was only playing that aggressively up the lane because he was relying on the potential of the insatiable hunger. At the same time, Fishman, he catches crit again.
The damage from that Wrath.
Yeah. Burst him down low. Fishman with the finish of this bottom lane, despite the fact that Amar was getting good farm, getting good denies. These deaths, they're adding up. It's quite a lot of positive action that Watson's getting involved in. I mean, it's coming up to 8 minutes in, the Terrorblade, he's already got 3 kills.
3 kills and taking the tower is actually all important because now it's a lot harder for Amar as this Broodmother to fully like pressure, take control of it. It's also level 6 is going to be coming a little bit later than maybe he expected. Very good aggressive move coming out from Cloud9. That being said though, Skater is also top. Malrine as well is very high net worth. And DM...
Good use there of the XL by the Dragon, but he won't be able to hold back the rest of them. DM getting surrounded by the 4 of them as Malrine and Crit come in with the rotation.
He's struggling and they have now spotted the stacks.
Can they take them? Well, they're certainly going to be tempted to try. They've got the Jingu buff up for the next Boundless Strike. Malrine's going to try to stick around, but his tree's been cut. Oh, they saw him go up there, and they're ready to punish him for that with the Sprouts in. The Nightmare coming in time to stop the Boundless Strike.
Big heal.
Get it off, a full heal there as it connects onto the stack. And looks like Snake King, he'll be the one to get left behind. So Cloud9, they turn up and they make sure the Falcons, they won't be taking away the stack. And if anything, sure, it healed him up, got him out, but also helped bring the creeps down low. So it's even easier for Cloud9 to clear up.
Love that they're matching. Just keep making the moves aggressively. You might end up losing your bottom tower because you have to rotate so many heroes out of it, but you do not want to give up these stacks to this Monkey King at this moment. So Amar will get space out of it.
Let's see how much he's able to pressure the tower here with his army of spiders.
It's pretty much going to go down. It's one little rotation that you move away from these spiders. It's essentially just gone. So the big difference in this game really is going to start coming between these two offlaners. You're seeing a 1,000 gold disparity between them, but no one is having about 800 difference between him and that Monkey King. So his timing of that Maelstrom, it's fast. He's got it done already.
It's going to be one of the faster ones I feel we've seen.
9 minutes 30. It's very quick.
Very, very hot stuff here from no one in the mid.
Which, when you're having maybe perhaps some like damage issues that the panel was mentioning and we were talking about inside like the mid game after these lanes break apart, having that earlier Maelstrom could be pretty important for him to get involved. Because now Watson, I feel like he's done his job of getting involved. He's got 4 kills on a TB early. Now you kind of want to do your own thing, let your team control the map and make the aggressive moves for you. He can just keep sending these illusions to farm and push out the lane that the spider shoves in.
Looking for that 10-minute power rune. It's going to fall into the hands of Malrine.
Pretty big one, too. Can he make an aggressive move with it? Looks like it's just stealing some stacks, getting these neutral items finished up.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult to find Watson at the moment, farming in a very safe position there, down on the bottom side of the map beyond the tier 2.
They do have one of these, I would say, kind of sneaky wards that we've been seeing more teams play, so it will be at least spotting the exact position that he's in, so information being given.
Crit, very close to finding the level 6. Just trying to pick up some solo XP on the bottom lane.
Both teams are just trying to maximize, it seems like. Crit, yeah, as you said, playing bottom, Broodmother's just jungling, Monkey King stacking / jungling. Fishman looking to make a bit, I mean, this is, I guess, just him hitting a tower and being a little bit cute up here, but won't be able to make anything of it.
Falcons, I think they'll be very ready to get Skeeter involved in the fights now, because the Blink Dagger's coming out for him.
Just like last time, I heard Amira was talking about how aggressive that they could be because they have these pairings that they do tend to do with these drafts for Falcons that they can just bring so many different varieties of heroes to be able to set up these type of ganks. So yeah, having this Blink early, they're going to smoke. Level 6 are hit on the supports too, I believe. Maybe Crit's still a little lacking, but Solar Flare's online. Fishman also does have the 6, so Fiend's Grip is at the ready. Same thing for Katomi. See if they can react in time.
Oh, so the big catch would be either Watson or no one right now. No one. Stepping back over towards the mid lane. Falcons holding the high ground. They might see Watson step up here. Watson, he's not going to expect this. The Dragon Tail opening is there. Let's see if they can chain stun him down. They can. Boundless into the arrow. Leaves no chance for any sort of stun to play. And even if he did, he actually didn't have a point in it yet.
Not yet.
Nothing he could do there to get out of that one. A successful smoke, and now maybe more. They're going to look for the setup in the mid. They get the Dragon Tail. The Sharpshooter comes in. They get no one as well. Falcons, they'll be able to turn with the Boundless and catch out Fishman on top of it as also.
The Falcon specialty. I mean, Skater, as you said, when he can start getting involved early on, the way that the map just starts to close off quickly. 12 minutes in, very quick aggressive moves, catching 2 big cores.
I mean, yeah, it doesn't get better than that for them. They get the carry, they get the mid, they get a support on top, they get the mid tower.
And now
what more could you want there with a Blink Dagger reveal from Skeeter? Perfect stuff.
And now they've got the Brood with the mech. And we were talking about, at least I was looking at the comparison between him and DM. There's a massive net worth disparity between these two offlaners who DM could struggle to get involved in these early fights.
Yeah, he's falling behind big time.
He's got to farm the stack, at least help Watson finish it off. But Falcons, after the lanes break off, it's similar to yesterday. Just the way that we saw versus BBT.
Yep.
They had this good early 12 minutes, and then things just snowballed out of control. So let's see if Cloud9 can slow the pace of the game down and not just keep hemorrhaging kills. Because Skeeter, he's looking for it.
Cloud9 turning up at the tier 2 here for the defense, but this is so hard. Skeeter's not going to be afraid of diving the tower, and there it is. Drain him with the Dragon Tail. On towards no one. He's gone. Falcons seeming like they can just take what they want from the map right now. Cloud9 struggling to slow them down or do anything in response.
I feel like DM actually has to start making his, I don't know, it's like he kind of has to play bottom because he's the only Brood answer. There's now a massive spider problem, Owen. None of these supports can really deal with it, neither the other two cores either. This tower's going down, potentially. They're going to have to use the glyph, but there's a lot of spiders.
At the time,
sorry, they already have the glyph, apologies, so this tower's just dead.
It certainly feels like, the time is going to be ticking for Cloud9. Watson coming in with this Terrorblade pick. One of the struggles, right, is getting the game to last long enough for you to be able to come online. It's going to take time. Watson not yet ready to be a part of these defenses.
And we were talking about how, no one did get a good timing on his Maelstrom. Back-to-back deaths immediately right after he finishes it up. So it's kind of a pinata that got inflated a little bit.
It just feels like sort of the playstyle of the Nature's Prophet and the way that he's turning up to try and hold these towers is just completely countered by the safe lane DK that rushes the Blink Dagger, right? Skeeter, as soon as he sees him, he's this incredibly tanky force that can just dive towers, get that opening stun. And if he finds that Dragon Tail, outside of maybe a clutch Nightmare save to try and break someone out of the combo, it's very difficult for Cloud9 to save one another.
No, absolutely. And maybe it's like looking at the way that it all started off, we saw them have so many different answers. We saw them ban how many heroes to protect this Nature's Prophet too, right? They banned out this Primal Beast, that's a huge problem, Timber, etc. And yeah, still they're able to get this. Fishman, sneaky play.
He's going to be able to grab it.
Very nice.
Now, can he get out? Even if he doesn't, I'm sure he's fine with this. He got the Wisdom Rune. And
he's going for it.
He's going to try and get a kill. It's not going to happen. But Wisdom Rune picked up, so mission success, will tell you.
Sure. At least getting something out of the map here, because map is starting to become quite problematic for them to make aggressive moves. And where's the damage, Owen? Where are they going to have this damage to follow up if they do get these initial catches? Falcons just have firm grasp of this game. And with this Broodmother, top net worth, can just continue occupying this entire bottom side.
Yeah, making good progress to just try and get the Greaves online for the team as soon as possible. Here, Amar, just to really add to the problems of Cloud9. He's able to come to damage and no one, he's been found.
They're just everywhere.
Catches him with the arrow, he's going to try and TP out, he'll actually make it.
All right.
Ooh, okay.
A little bit tanky.
Yeah, just tanky enough there to get out.
The spark of courage, right? I think once you hit that 50% health,
it kicks in.
That +7 armor, I think that was definitely the difference, at least for that Nature's Prophet to survive there.
Oh, that was a lucky one there from no one.
But that's all it really is. This time he just survived. So they are slowing down the pace a little bit here for Watson, but it's not like Falcons isn't farming on everybody. They're getting a ton of space on the map.
Yeah, Mar really starting to take over. Top net worth, nearly hitting level 12.
It's really
getting so much from the map. The Brood problem, definitely an issue.
Even though they said they saw it coming.
They said they did.
I mean, let's see if it's the later stage plan as potentially for Watson, if he's going to be able to make this Terrorblade work, because that's why players pick it. They want to get to these later stages, but a 6,000 gold lead this early on.
DM, he's going to try and clear out the mid lane. There's going to be a Nightmare to try and break him out of the opening combo, but the Boundless Strike comes in. Is DM tanky enough to get out? Is he able to turn, get the combo off? Torrent's going to be off the mark, but the boat will connect it on Skeeter. They killed him off, and now Skeeter's coined the Sprout. They get the two of them.
There we go.
Cloud9 turn things around. I think, Falcons, they went in then expecting DM to die a lot quicker than he actually... He didn't die at all. He gets very low, but they couldn't burst him.
He just got the Vanguard.
Yeah.
So just a bit too much damage, and Fishman with a clutch little sleep. There's difficulty to stop this chain stun, but if Fishman's there, he can still do so. And now it's Gleipnir.
So I think he has something more. Gleipnir into the Sprout, leaps her at the ready. But that fight, that turnaround in the mid, they needed that more than ever, Cloud9. They find it, and they're able to slam down a little bit of that lead that Falcons had.
And DM will potentially finish up a Crimson Guard maybe before that next fight, too. So be able to block a good amount of damage, and that's the Brood answer. So, all right. 2,000 HP, 2 Seeds of Serenity plus Vanguard. It is a very durable Kunkka if they can't get the initial chain stun.
Yeah, despite the fact that he is sort of, falling behind in farm. It's just enough to be at this point where Falcons, they couldn't quite kill him.
No one buying. I like this, actually. This is really cool. He's looking to be super active, is what this tells me. He's got the Gleipnir now, so it's like, okay, farm time, it's over for him. He wants to show up to every single one of these fights. He buys the Shard. Not something we see too often. I know a couple of these players I've seen pick it up, but this is cool. Very strong. It's a lot of damage. It's going to help also versus these heroes that are pesky inside of the fog, potentially. Cool way to fight back. The pipe now is finished, though, for Amar, so extra little bit of an aura that a lot of magic damage was brought out in that last fight from Cloud9 from both the boat and as well as that Wrath of Nature, so that will block a decent amount. But Cloud9 have restabilized things.
They certainly have. And it'll be interesting to see now from Falcons if this kind of slows them down in looking for that next play. They'll opt to sort of sit back, just farm up their next round of items on Falcons before trying to run and jump on whoever presents themselves on the mid lane.
Oh, and this is interesting too. Look at Skeeter is going for this. He went for Mage Slayer. I think I've been seeing actually less of this item, which I actually wanted to see more when we saw Sand King just go absolutely bonkers yesterday. I was hoping we saw some of these, but in this game, it looks a bit interesting. Because there's a lot of physical damage cores, in particular TB, but I guess he wants to reduce some of either the Wrath of Nature that comes out or the Kunkka spells. That'll be cool. Or just be innately tanky for it as well, too. But
Mallory is on the hunt now. Does have the Atos for further control. Balance to set things up. Fishman, he'll pay the price for sneaking around the jungle.
That's kind of the power, I would say, of Falcons draft. It's more about the pickoffs in general. While Cloud9, if a big team fight kicks off, we will see the combos come out. If DM is able to cast his spells, they should have good fights, at least, inside of those 5v5s. But here we do see Falcons going for a bit of a sneaky play here. Not with the highest damage overall to take down a Roche at this time in the game, but it's actually pretty quick.
I don't think Cloud9's going to expect this.
Especially with Amar coming in. Okay, now it's going to die very fast.
So then TPs are starting to come in around the tier 1, but yeah, no way that Cloud9 could do anything about that one. Aegis into the hands of Skeeter.
A Solar Flare just makes them be able to bring it down actually very fast. Thought it was going to be a bit slower, but...
See how much they want to try and push the issue now. Skeeter having the Aegis.
They could look for team fights pretty soon also on the side of Falcons. Now starting to get all these extra items, the Greaves, that pipe. Crit though will get spotted.
He's going to get caught in the Sprout. He's able to jump out with the Sharpshooter, and that might just save him. There's no one else to really try and catch him off on the escape, so Crit able to break away from the attempt there from no one.
I was just looking at his skill build on Crit too. He actually takes the 10 talent instead of having the Scurry, so a little dangerous there to not be able to break out of that Sprout, but we'll be okay.
Now we're seeing as well from Skeeter, he'll be able to switch out the Quelling Blade now, gets the 4-star for himself, so he's got an answer against the Sprouts from no one.
I think he's probably one of the players that does stuff like this more often than others. Yes, you build Hurricane Pike anyway onto the DKs lately, but yeah, having this one early on is going to be interesting to bail each other out. Smoked up. Falcons looking to play aggressive. They've got this timing with that Aegis. They've got a Solar Crest now on Crit too.
The thing is as well, from Cloud9's side of things though, Watson's definitely at a point where he won't shy away from a team fight.
No. I'd imagine he does look to show up. They have to keep DM alive. That's going to be the all-important thing. I think Fishman and DM have to be pretty on point.
Captomi's trying to fight. It looks like they're trying to set something up here. They've got their eyes onto Amar. See if they can catch him with the combo. They win in the glide near the Sprout. Have they got the damage to bring him down? With Watson having the Metamorphosis out, they do. They kill off the Spider. Now they can maybe look for more. Falcons, they still want to keep this fight going in response, though. Buyback's going to be coming in from Fishman. Cloud9, they're hungry to chase Falcons out. Can they get any sort of further catch? They can. The X marks there onto Marine. Will get up into the trees in time. Another jump away. He's able to break just far enough away to make sure that there's no further catch. Mallory managing to escape them.
A lot expended from Cloud9 there. The buyback even from Fishman. They really wanted to force that fight. They got the boat up. They got the Crimson Guard, but they couldn't get that extra catch afterwards. And that's a lot of cooldowns used. They still have the Fiend's Grip, so Fishman was stepping up aggressively to find somebody, but now has to be careful how he backs away. The vision is up on this high ground that they caught him on before.
Yeah, Skeeter could look for the jump. And he will. He's in. He's going to be able to find a quick freebie here between the two of them. So that's going to be Fishman out for quite some time. Out for a full minute.
That's a long one. Yeah, that ward actually caught him twice. So he literally died just to the right of it before the fight kicked off when they caught Amar. He does get caught again. But in the meanwhile, I mean, Watson and no one, they're splitting up. They're getting farm anyway, so not the worst case scenario, you're losing this Bane by any means. And close to BKB for no one, so a little bit more liberty for him to potentially protect himself. There still is a ton of chain stun, but if he can get slept, then he can pop the BKB in a lot of these situations, should be able to survive.
Definitely seeing, though, with the minutes passing and the fact, as you say, that these two stay at the top, you only got to imagine that from Cloud9's perspective, they're going to be feeling pretty happy. That little bit of a turnaround and hold on to taking away the momentum that Falcons were building up in that mid lane,
Yes,
stabilizing the game. That's definitely given them the platform now for which this Watson Terrorblade could really become quite the beast.
Yep, and I think a lot of us are hoping to see what he's going to be able to do. Is this hero actually able to match and be that strong in these later stages since he's actually getting to farm on it? So many games I think we've seen in the past few tournaments, it just doesn't get online. So we're in for a treat here.
Top tower is under attack.
Do they want to try and look for a fight outside of the base here? They're grouping up. Cloud9, they do. The smoke comes out.
They've got a mech of their own also. They have the Glimmer and the mech on Katomi, so this is an interesting approach from him.
It's going to be into the remnants of this Aegis, though, as well. The Aegis still there for 1 minute on Skeeter. Cloud9. Going to see Maureen jumping through the trees, but he's able to get away before any sort of catch comes in. As we'll let Falcons know that Cloud9 are looking for a bit of a sneaky play, so Falcons start to back off.
Playing vision. Skeeter still has Aegis.
It's not a tempting target for them to fully commit on, so they won't.
It's dangerous to poke like that as well, because they have so many chain stuns. You have to be careful how you show yourself on, especially on DM, because he doesn't have BKB. Yes, he's tanky from the Crimson, but has to be a bit cautious. Map continues to be split up.
They don't find any sort of kill with that play, Cloud9, but they do push Falcons away from taking the top tier 2 at this moment with the Aegis. As Falcons split back up across the map.
No one. He's got to be careful.
They get the jump on him, but he has got the BKB. He's going to try and stand his ground here. And holding them back with the Sprout's not going to work. And Mars able to stay on top of him, take him out as no one caught out.
He probably thought I think he thought it was just one of them at first, and then he's like, oh yeah, I can maybe potentially turn and fight this, but no, it's 2, and a
fish match. And he's also going to get caught. Got the bounty rune, but it will cost him his life as Amar, Skeeter, and Malorine claim another. So Falcons starting to once again get these little pickoffs here and there across the map. As DM, it's going to just try and do his best to cut the waves here in the mid. He's going to have to come back a little bit earlier here. I think he gets a bit spooked as Falcons are sweeping across looking for him. Yeah. Skeeter, he's going to get the Dragon Tail opening.
He's got a shield rune.
And he's pretty tanky, DM. And looks to be tanky enough that Falcons won't look to fully commit on him. They'll turn for the easier kills. Go for Katomi, caught outside of the high ground. Falcons, you give them any sort of little bit of a slip up, they start taking a lot from off the back of it. Kind of 3 kills back to back across the map. They're now pushing down the mid lane, taking it tier 2.
These ganking combos, Mira mentioned it. She said on the panel, just there's so many different ways for them to set up kills if people are split up. And Cloud9's lineup, it is just about constantly splitting up. When you see a TB Nature's Prophet, this is like days of old from Dota 1, where you used to see all these heroes just constantly split put until they can get to the point where they're super strong. But Falcons, they're getting a lot of pickoffs. These do start to add up quite a lot here too. Seeing DM, he's falling further and further behind. He can't get involved. So it's kind of turning into this maybe dual core versus a tri-core potentially that Falcons is starting to build up. And maybe even more than that, because they do have a Mirana and Hoodwink, like we saw yesterday, also be able to scale. I don't know if we'll see Snaking go that satanic.
I was going to say, are we getting a satanic build again? Or? No, not in this one.
Maybe. I mean, maybe if it gets to these like super late stages or something like that, but
you've got to imagine that as well for Cloud9 when they do run something like the Terrorblade. This is one of those heroes that can carry a game even if there aren't kind of 2 other cores on the same level of farmers in, right? This is a hero that eventually should have the potential to 1v9.
It should, but yeah, I mean, we'll see. Because they are getting, more and more answers. I think they actually sniped that courier, right? That was almost a full Crimson Guard, so that's actually a pretty big deal. Amar not going to have that one for the next upcoming engagement. No one. Does have the BKB TP out. Yeah, doesn't mean he won't have it for a second here as Fishmen. Always going for these kind of crazy plays, I feel like.
They've got the Gleipnir set up. Snaking trying to close the gap to see if we can find the follow-up control. Fishman will turn with a Nightmare, but Skeeter's there as well. It's another death for the Bane.
They're getting picked apart.
Just anywhere they go, anywhere they sort of reveal themselves alone, Falcons immediately punishing them. It's starting to add up, these kills that they're feeding away to Falcons.
The mobility on Falcons just feels to be too high for, I just keep watching DM. He's like trying to run around finding anything, but they're just constantly all over the place. The Monkey King's jumping around. There's a Mirana that's super quick, a Hoodwink and a Brood. They're just making these moves constantly, and it's applying quite a bit of pressure to everybody besides the NP and the TP. They keep having to use like BKBs to TP out, so it still is pressure that is being applied. And now at the smoke, looking to swing across the map. It is a timing that Watson gets. He's got a full life Scotty.
Falcons. They want to try and catch Cloud9 whilst they're split up, so they can get the jump onto no one. He's going to get caught by the Dragon Tail. Pushback to follow his BKB, still on cooldown. Get the Nature's Wrath off, and Watson's going to turn up and try and help out. They'll look towards Skeeter, but Skeeter's incredibly tanky. Snaking will get dragged back by the tidal wave. Marin, he's coming with the side with the Wukong's command. He's ready to try and keep this team fight going. Fishman will stand his ground the Fiend's but he's in the middle of the Wukong.
Now he's got mana.
As the Wukong's command kills him off, Mallory with the BKB is now going to turn his attention over towards Watson. Watson, he's very hard to tackle, as in fact Watson, he's ready to try and bring the fight back towards the Monkey King. Off to the side, Katsomi holds back Skeeter, but Skeeter gets forced forward, well, forces himself forward, closes the gap. Another X marks dragging back, keeping Katsomi alive there. DM trying to keep Skeeter held back. I mean, Watson, he's trying to find the chance to hit
one's split up,
but he's kind of getting kited at the moment, and indeed no one back on the front lines. He gets killed off. Watson turns towards Amar.
They're just dancing.
They're kind of just toying with them, moving around them in a way that Cloud9 just can't get the hits in. Watson, he has to bail out. He's going to try and TP him away, but Skeeter's in with a Dragon Tail. Bushwhack to follow things up. Falcons, they're making this fight so difficult for Cloud9 to play, and now Cloud9, they've just got to run. Katsomi's going to get chased down by Amar Snake. He gets into the trees, leaping away, but the Starstorm finds him. Watson's left alone. Falcons, they'll take the team fight. I mean, Cloud9,
nobody.
They were desperately trying to make some sort of move. You saw sort of Watson walking all over the place, but he was getting completely kited.
That is a full duration meta fight that he can pretty much get nobody. Well, Snaking died, sorry. So Snaking did die at the beginning of it, but that was everything expended, and Falcons just danced on them.
They really did.
That was insane team fight, just coordination that came out from them. And playing around that vision from the initial catch allows them to just play dominant. Cloud9 just got split up. No one starts chasing one target. Watson can't keep up with him, and it's that mobility that's really a problem. Huge fight. Falcons now blowing the game open. A 10k lead. Roche is up. That was the timing also that Watson, he just had got his Eye of Scotty too. It's like his big item timing. But you just see they kind of just played around it and danced.
Yeah, he just can't stay on a target. They get the setup, as you said, to catch on to Snaking. To start things off in a way that, you know, you've got to imagine from Cloud9's perspective, it's like, great, we got a kill, let's go, let's keep this fight going. Fishman just not standing a chance in the middle of the Wukongs, and yet you'll see Watson, he's getting a fair few hits in, but he just can't quite stay on any hero long enough to kill them.
And they're just very durable, right? Malrine still had the Wukong's armor. Even at the end there, he gets solar crested up, and then this is the point when it starts to be pretty much disaster. Everybody split all over the place, going for different targets, and then Falcons, like low cooldown stuns, really start coming into play because they can just keep throwing out these stuns, controlling these heroes, and it becomes, yeah, massive problems for Cloud9 very fast.
Maybe it's just sort of been miscommunication there. You know, the point where no one's kind of at the front getting gone on by Malrine, that's at a stage where Watson's already started to walk away from that side of the fight, feeling that he couldn't have the chance to keep chasing.
I mean, the thing that Panel said and we talked about for a while, it's like damage issues, especially now at this point when they're able to dance around and kite.
Yeah, the majority of the damage, it's the Terrorblade, it's Watson, but they don't have the control to, as you say, punish the ability of Falcons.
We'll be able to survive no one. Does get caught from the initial stun.
Crit. Nice little play there. Forces no one to have to BKB TP out. They got the physical damage to take him down. They don't. No one gets out.
That was close.
And I mean, a crit with just such quick moves there to force no one to have to BKB.
And now they can go aggressive again. No BKB on the Nature's Prophet if you'd like to make the aggressive move on Falcons. They've got DK form. It's level 18 as well. And I think a BKB on Skater, so they've got a commanding way to pressure, at least versus this Nature's Prophet without BKB now. And the Sages.
The pressure building up for Watson. He's just got to get, it feels like his next two items online really. He needs the Butterfly and then probably something like the Daedalus.
Yeah,
exactly.
He needs a big damage item, it feels like. Maybe might even have to forego the Butterfly, even though he's playing versus like these triple physical core.
I mean, that's the Butterfly feels so good this game.
It's just difficult for him, it really is.
Skeeter. He's ready to just walk up and start hitting the high ground. Still 3 minutes on the Aegis. He's even going to get the jumping onto DM. Marine's in with a follow-up. They force him back into the arrow. I mean, the combo there couldn't be more perfect from Falcons.
I mean, they're on point today. They ate their Wheaties. Everybody's playing super fresh. That four-step play is beautiful into the stun. Glyph forced. And how do they fight now?
Oh. The DM and the question mark here from Malrine. As Marine's feeling pretty good about this one. He knows as well that DM's had a tough time this game.
It's been one of the tougher ones. He's 0-4. Bottom of the cores on net worth.
Well, let's see. We have had, of course, situations in the past where all chat can go horribly wrong. So maybe this is the beginning of the comeback for Cloud9. We'll see if Marine lives to sort of regret his words this game. Can Cloud9 turn this one?
It's gonna have to be some miraculous stuff from Watson and from no one, it feels like. Full AC now for Amar too. I mean, every aura is now pretty much ready for
They're
them.
just not going to die. They feel
They're
so
too tanky.
So tanky,
Yeah.
and no one. They found him. He's got the BKB TP, and at this moment, at least, nothing to be able to stop that play.
Immediately, a Basher's queued up from Malrine.
Yep.
Instantly. And yeah, you see this win probability. They've just been able to kind of run around the map, win every single one of these fights. Besides that one mid fight, pretty much in particular.
Yeah, that was the only slip up. It really was.
And just, it's so many pickoffs that they're able to do with this type of lineup on the map.
Yeah.
Anyone who shows.
He's trying to clear out waves with the X-Mark play. They're going to have the damage to kill him rather easily as well. He does have buyback available. They need to use it if they want to try and hold on to at least this mid set of racks. It's getting taken very quickly. The smoke will come out from Cloud9.
The last hurrah.
The mid racks are gone. Falcons ready to sweep over towards the top lane as well. They got to do something soon, Cloud9. I mean, what's it is he's spending up? He's holding on to the 4K gold right now. And here's the buyback from Diam. Falcons, got with the lightning. No one's coming for the side, but he's immediately killed. He tries to start the fight off. They just turn, destroy the Nature's Prophet. The boat comes down for Diam, lands onto Snaking, but Cloud9, they've got to get back up to the high ground. They can't take this fight.
They just said GG, Owen.
Okay, well, there we go. I mean, I don't blame them. We saw the chance of turning this one around. It was a little too low for them to fancy their chances in. GG is called. Falcons.
You have that trust in them?
I mean, you have to. I don't know. It's just forced.
Well, do you trust that you will be winning this one game?
Yeah, hopefully.
Oh my God, Owie, please! It's TI! Just give me a let's go for the crowd. You never get hype about these things. Give me one let's go.
Let's go.
Good up for us. We'll see how it does again, and let's get straight to the game with our commentators.
There we go, lovely day, Howie. Bring us some hype in here for the boys on Falcons in this game too. The question is for can Cloud9 do it? They had a rough game one. They've come into this game too. They switched things up. We're seeing things like the Luna come out. This hero, it's great.
About that. Yep.
This hero wins games. You know, so seeing Watson on Luna, that's something to be confident about. And I mean, the last pick, right? No one on the Earth Spirit. We know he can pop off on this hero.
He can. It can be a bit of a risky pick at times, but we'll see how much he's going to be able to make happen with it. But they do have the two big guns. The Sand King, the Luna, that's probably the big one that most people are looking at because these have been pretty dominant throughout this tournament. As you heard it there from AUI, they have a plan for it. And,
Okay.
You know, I'm looking at some of these things, you know, I was talking last game about that DK with the Mage Slayer. I think that's probably going to be something they look to at least address some of that magic damage that comes out, and probably just more mitigation. It's a big thing that Falcons does like to do when they see these type of things. And maybe some like distance heroes that can burst this Sand King and stuff. So, no one, be careful, you ate a second chakra.
Yeah, Mallory with the body blocks. Is he going to have enough burst with this next chakram to kill him?
Whirling Death, sorry. Yeah,
Sorry with the Whirling Death. Yeah, you confused me. First blood indeed, Mallory. Oh, well, that's quite the way to start. Yeah, you talk about sort of Falcons' approach, or coming out already with the question marks. Nice and early this game.
I mean, he landed all of them. He landed literally 3 in a row onto him. You have to be very careful when you're playing these strength matchups, just because you get the double stat loss reduction. It's 12-second duration. Once you get hit by that second one, it's tremendous how much damage it does. Or Whirling Death. Using shock.
Whirling Death. Well, we'll see how that continues to go. But yeah, quite the start there from Marine getting that first blood. But yeah, talking about the strat that Falcons had against the Sand King, it's sort of the panel touched upon. It seems like their strat is to just kind of do what they always do, right? You look at some of these hero tier levels that they've got on the heroes that they've managed to get through this draft, Falcons. It's pretty terrifying. You've got, 2 Grandmaster tier heroes, of course, with Mar on his Mars and Marine on his Timbersaw.
You heard from panel, right? They said this is probably the most Falcons-looking draft. And you saw the last draft, it was a pretty Falcons-looking draft as well, too. They've got all their comfort. You heard, I mean, how we said it. Malrine asked for this hero. So, yeah, getting that kill right off the bat. No one actually got 4 CS on the first wave afterward, but now it's Malrine is going to have
bottom
fantastic time. And Katomi.
He's looking pretty dead. Skeeter takes him out with the Breathe Fire.
This lane is not going to be easy.
Yeah, this is going to be a real true test for Cloud9. Can they beat Falcons when Falcons, they're absolutely in their element with this draft.
Yeah, and they have this Mars and the Snapfire also tough. So, I mean, looking across the board, all 3 lanes, they're super strong. They actually have probably an advantage across the board in these. The Luna lane is the one that maybe can be a bit more volatile, but it's a ton of burst damage between a Snap and a Mars to go for something like Luna that can suffer versus that. So we'll see if Fishman can deter them and protect. Watson. He really needs this game.
And what do you think overall was the reason for the decision regarding where they put the sanking, right? I think we heard from the panel, right? They kind of maybe wanted to see it stick to the mid lane, but making this alteration, is this just sort of down to preferences from no one, would you imagine?
Probably, I guess I would say. Maybe he feels like he could be more active or something with the Earth Spirit rather than the Sanking, because maybe Sanking takes like a little bit of time to get online. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. Definitely interesting, because overall, I mean, the Sanking mid has been the one that's just been decimating. Especially yesterday, we saw Quinn. I mean, multiple players just not die on the hero, so... an interesting approach.
So yeah, so far we can see a top lane. I mean, once again, as was the case last game, Amar having no struggles, getting complete free fire. And just, yes, down on the bottom lane, Skeeter having a bit of a slower start, but obviously countered by the fact that he did get that early kill. So he's not going to be too unhappy with the state of the lane down bottom, and they're able to hold it in good position, Falcons.
Tommy does get a pull off on the side there, so we'll at least be able to get good positioning for DM to get farm. And just keeping eyes on what creep Snaking gets, that's kind of the big one to allow them to bully DM. Yeah, so far, not too bad for DM down here. It was starting a little weird. He had to bring a salve to re-establish the lane, but now getting that good CS.
Yeah, just this mid lane.
Mid lane's a problem.
It's going to be very difficult for no one to recover. We're seeing him starting to really fall behind in last hits, and that's just going to remain the situation. Very hard to sort of turn that mid one around, especially after that rough first blood. Top lane.
He's in trouble.
They're going to have him. Fishman and Watson able to run him down as Crit gets caught between the two of them.
Nicely done.
Of course, Watson's farm up here also looking pretty nice.
This is probably the best lane that I would say that they have going for them. The Sanking in the Wyvern lane can be a little bit volatile because it's versus this Enchantress, but the top one should go quite well.
Bottom.
There's actually a rotation.
They're going to be able to get this easy kill onto Katsuomi there. Straight away, making the call to make that play.
Oh, they just left the courier. Oh, okay. I guess they were more prioritizing onto going for the kill onto DM. They might just be able to have.
I mean, has he got, yeah, what sort of way has he got to play out of this? He's not really got a lot at all.
Second blood grenade.
He's going down. Falcons making these early rotations, getting these kills.
You were doing very well. I'm very
As yeah, well, whilst this happens up and down the map, Maureen continues to have a very nice time in the mid. We're seeing, yeah, no one trying to drag some creep waves, trying to find a safer way to get some farm out of this early game.
That is the nicest thing that you can do on a lot of these mid laners, is just kind of dodge the matchup in a way. We used to see Maureen actually do this a lot when he'd play like a bad matchup on a Primal Beast or something like that. So no one should be able to keep that farm going. And overall for his game, you know, if he can actually get onto some of these squishy supports, could do some explosive stuff. I think the big timing really is just going to be if he's going to be able to get a good Vessel. Because the Vessel is going to be crucial to pretty much kill any of these cores.
Fishman. Trying to get that catch onto Snaking, but the heals are coming out. See them try and bring in the damage as well from Katsuomi. Should have a solid chance of this. I mean, using the micro to throw the rocks back and hold Fishman away from them. They bring in the rotation of no one and... verifies there as well. Snaking, he's making them work for it. They're going to get him. But it takes a lot of time and a lot of resources.
At least no one gets the last hit. Maureen has it 6. So has no one. Power Rune. They're on top of Crit. A nice move.
Okay, Cloud9. Getting these kills across the map where they make these movements with the two of them. And indeed, you know, no one being a part of this. Getting this very crucial early involvement. Maureen cleaning up whatever stands next to him, really. I mean, so many of these heroes are going to be so vulnerable to the incredible amount of burst this Timbersaw is going to be doing throughout all stages of the game. It's got an amplified damage rune as well, ready to play with when he looks to go again on someone. So this Timber does remain pretty terrifying.
He's going to be a big problem. I actually potentially want to even see like these early moves, let's say from even Watson or something, to get a swing around. I think that's actually the best kill threat that they can have once they've got the Eclipse online and like Lucent Beam maxed up. That's probably their best early kill threat onto this Timbersaw. It's obviously not like something he wants to like fully rotate out of, but if he sees an opportunity to get involved, that could be a way to slow down this Timber's early game.
They're going to try and go for DM. Maureen coming over, ready to bring in the damage if Skeeter can get the setup.
He got him.
And he's got the opening Dragon Tail. The Chakram's coming out with the amplified damage. It's a huge amount of burst. He'll burst strike over towards the trees. Can he play his way out for this? Can he risk an attempted TP out? I don't think so. Maureen's in on top of him. Another round of the Chakram cuts him down. And Maureen continues to rule the map here as the Timber. Top lane, no one. Making a rotation of his own, looking for Amar. It's a good cookie attempt from Crit to try and get Amar back to safety,
Reed's
giving him a little bit of a chance to retreat. Amai's going to look over towards the H, he's able to dodge the roll, look for the deny. He's not going to find it though, because no one is able to get the hit in to take him down, but this may just cost no one his life as Falcons turn up with the numbers. They'll look to punish, and they'll successfully do so, and all 3 kills go to Malrine. Malrine's Timber. It's just getting so much out of this early game, folks.
It's devastating, and they don't really have damage early game, as we were mentioning, to kill him. He's not even going to go for any type of early protection. He's just going damage, going straight for Kaya. It's already explosive how much he's able to do, and it's just fast rotations, as we've seen. This is kind of the way the Falcons always play. Skeeter is not hesitant to get involved. He will go through these gates. He will TP to bring the action to any of these dives that any team will bring to them. And he's just going to immediately go back down bottom to be able to continue that pressure. And it's no deviation. I imagine it's going to be some type of Blink Mage Slayer. Same kind of style build from him. It just fits really nicely versus this Cloud9 lineup to be able to make those aggressive moves.
Yeah, and with his position right now, it's just the nature of the hero. It's just not something that Cloud9 are going to want to look to dive in and try and take out. So very easy for Skeeter to find these moments to get those items online in good time. Unless Cloud9 brings some sort of heavy rotation, something that involves the Luna as well. But it looks like that's not going to be the way they want to try and do this. They want to just allow Watson to have the space and keep their half of the map, keep the area that the Luna's in completely protected.
Yeah, I was saying like with the first Eclipse, something like that, to try to find the Timber. But if now at this point he just has to go to jungle, get the Mask of Madness, get that farm. And yeah, it's going to be up to no one when he gets this vessel how much he can do. Can he start shutting down some of these tanky cores? He is very close to it. But Falcons already 2K lead. All 3 cores soon to be at the top. Just no one in between them there.
And they really are, yeah, so tanky, all 3 of Falcons.
Vessel's done. It's got to be go time, and it feels got to be constant coming out here from no one. He's got Magnetize available. Top tower, it's dropping a bit too early for him to get up there to contest it.
They're going to have to let that one go. Skeeter with the pressure with the Dragon Form, successfully taking away these objectives, and Cloud9 not interested in looking to fight in that area right now. They'll look to get the grab onto Crypt. Fishman's got the setup. Should be an easy one here to allow no one to start building up those charges on the vessel. See if this can be the beginning of the snowball effect that no one really needs to find on the Earth Spirit this game.
I mean, a kill's a kill at this point, right? So anything he can find is going to be nice, but does want to be able to find one of these earlier kills on one of these tanky cores before they get some type of mitigation or a way to remove this vessel.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Power Rune will spawn bottom. Malrine. Tommy is going to be able to take that one away.
Not quite yet having the 6s on the supports. That's probably the next sort of timing that Cloud9 are looking towards there. Now, relatively close, both halfway through the 5. Once they have those ults online, at least one of them can look to pair up with no one on these rotations.
This is very nice too. DM needed some type of accelerant for himself. His lane went pretty well. Of course, yes, he did die twice, but all things considered, it wasn't absolutely horrendous. So now is able to back up, finish off a little bit here, and they are smoking. Is the 6 hit on the clock? Not quite yet, but Katomi has gotten it. It's going to be up to no one to get that initiation.
See if they can find Snake King. Not going to get the clean opening onto him, and even if they do, it's not the most appealing target. TP start to come in. Falcons, they're ready to respond.
Instant jump.
They do indeed take down Fishman. No struggle whatsoever. I mean, Cloud9, they're just not able to find the angle to really get in and catch Falcons by surprise.
Skeeter's looking for an angle to potentially jump. Malrine is starting to push forward here.
And Katomi does have the 6 themselves, so they do have the curse to help turn things around if Falcons start to collapse in onto anyone.
Watson's getting some space.
Take down Fishman. No struggle whatsoever. I mean, Cloud9, they're just not able to find the angle to really get in and catch Falcons by surprise.
Skeeter's looking for an angle to potentially jump. Malrine is starting to push forward here.
And Katomi does have the 6 themselves, so they do have the curse to help turn things around if Falcons start to collapse in onto anyone.
Watson's getting some space. This is pretty nice. The attention's been drawn toward another lane, so is able to get that safe farm here. And they don't end up losing DM. They'll lose a little bit of their triangle here, but we'll be able to evade the gank.
Taking the tier 1s out of the side lanes, they can look towards the mid now, Falcons as well.
Could be an interesting thing that Cloud9 can actually do is what I've been seeing in a lot of the times. Falcons TPs with a lot of heroes, so there's definitely situations where I could see Cloud9 like force a move and then immediately back away when they see the TPs to start getting some potential map advantage. Not the easiest thing to do because they have that far catch with the DK, but
DM showing in the mid.
That's too aggressive.
Certainly is. I don't know what else he really expected there. And yeah, Malrine continues to rub it in with the ult chat.
Oy, oy, oy. This last big timber at the top. No answers just yet.
See them trying to start some action in return. I mean, no one takes his chances there to see if he can get a grab. Not going to be the case. We'll be able to at least push Falcons away from trying to take the mid-tier 1 at this moment.
Malrine is just absolutely massive. Skitter as well. No pressure's really been put onto this DK. They're farming across the board. Yes, Watson's farming, but it does feel like you're looking at Falcons and they feel much happier with their draft. Playing into this Earth Spirit that wants to get aggressive early on.
Yeah, they know how hungry Cloud9 is for action.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is his moments past. The efficiency, the numbers are certainly showing that Cloud9 not getting quite as much out of the map as Falcons.
And Malrine with this regen rune too can look to play wherever he wants. He can play aggressive and he probably won't die.
A one?
He shows himself.
And the kisses are coming out. If he's able to get away from this in time, he's going to be able to roll away again. Malrine land the chakrams here on towards no one, but no shots there. Fishman holds him back. Skeeter caught under the tower. The curse is there as well from Kataomi. Surely they could at least kill the Dragon Knight. They can. They'll bring Skeeter down, but Amar steps over the arena, spears through Kataomi. They've got to look for more here, Cloud9. No one rolls in, gets the magnetize out onto the two of them. Amar up into the air here for now. Looks to step away, but he cannot break out from this fight. Double kill from Watson. Now towards Crit. They should be able to find a third. They will.
There we go.
Cloud9. They turn up in the numbers. They find the fight. They should be able to get some pressure onto the tower. Exactly what they needed. And Watson, he knows he has to be a part of these plays. He turns up 2-0-3, getting this early action now on the Luna.
And they kept no one alive. That was the important thing. Fishman's hook shot actually so crucial in this one, because if Malrine's able to stick on top of this Earth Spirit, the fight could get kind of weird, but they were able to kind of push this Timber Saw all the way to the far right of the fight and able to reset things and get that good positioning. No one is very tanky.
Indeed, yeah, the Vessel, the Treads, and the Wand, that's all you kind of need at this point to be able to walk away from the kisses coming in.
This. Fishman with the hook shot. It stops kind of this aggression and breaks that entire move that's coming out from Falcons. Beautiful play.
Falcons definitely underestimating the ability for Cloud9 to hold this sort of fight and find this sort of turnaround. He's back in action. They will get the spear connection onto DM. They catch him around the Ancient. So Falcons, after having a rough fight in the mid, they're not afraid of going straight back to the action. Fishman, he's out with a TP. Nothing to put a stop to it. So yeah, Falcons, they may have lost the fight mid, but they get back into the action. They kill off DM, and they do still claim that tier 1 tower mid first.
They're still able to play just that little bit faster, right? Cloud9 does feel like they're more cooldown reliant, especially if Watson wants to look to get involved. So Falcons looking to take advantage of that.
They're heading straight for him. Just going to go for a TP out. They got anywhere to stop it in time. They don't. He's away.
Ooh, and yeah, Amar has gone down the Yule's build, so pretty interesting. So just wanting to have that immediate catch for some of these heroes, and he is going to queue these auras. So interesting approach that he's going to go for. We've been seeing just most of those times just the BKB and Blink.
Fishman setting up another catch here for Cloud9. They'll find Snaking.
Good kill.
The support at this moment, Cloud9 is showing no struggle of being able to pick them off when they get caught out of position.
And that's almost DM's Bloodstone actually finished up, so yes, he's been slowed down a couple. I mean, he's died 4 times this game, but his farm is still not bad at all. He's going to have to play into the Mage Slayer. I believe it's about to be finished up on to Skitter. So there's always going to be that mitigation that comes out.
Cloud9, they're not too afraid of looking for these team fights now. They have the ultimates back online, grouping up down bottom to take the tier 1, and just be prepared if Falcons were to show up and try and take a fight. It's not going to be the case, though. Falcons remain split up.
So it's so much more fun to see this Luna in particular, right? She's constantly looking to get involved. The level 2 Eclipse is ready. The team fight that it can actually bring in is pretty massive until more auras and stuff get online. So Watson playing near the team, ready for a fight.
Yeah, he's had an excellent balance so far between the AFK farming and joining the team for these movements, these objectives, and these crucial fights that they needed to come in and make sure that Falcons don't get away with.
Katomi's getting pretty close to a Blink Dagger too, which, I mean, these little things are going to be pretty important for them to get these type of either initial catches in the fights or these resets. That's going to be a big thing for Wyvern. If he can get a reset, the Luna can come in, get this type of big fight. Could be pretty huge for them. Malrine does get an item that's probably going to make him not die for the next few moments. The Aghanims is finished up. But if they can kite and reset around that reactive armor, there still is a small potential, but not easy by any means to go for him now. But it never was going to be the case versus this last big Timber.
I think Cloud9, with the way that those last few moments have gone, they're not too sad with just sort of sitting back and calming things down as well. Just as long as their Luna's farming, as long as Watson's getting the space.
Yeah, and he just, so Snake actually had warded the triangle over here, but it was dewarded just now from Watson, so making sure that he can get as much farm as possible. No one?
Going to try for the hook shot in the mid. It's going to be the connection from Fishman straight onto Crit. No one's going to roll up with the follow-up damage. Crit not getting out of this one. Cloud9.
Nice catch from
Catching Falcons off guard now. A few moments in a row.
This Clockwork is looking quite a bit better than the Bane, I would say, in the last game. You know, it's one of his 2 classic heroes, but he's 5-3-5. All of his connections have been pretty damn good for the team. Oh, and DM, of course, it happens. He gets the Bloodstone, and he gets the Vampire Fangs. So we'll see how much they can actually do to withstand versus this insane healing that comes out if he's able to get the connections.
Yeah, it's going to be very tough to go on him.
Yeah. They have Mage Slayer, like we said. They have some forms of damage mitigation, but this is like the timing. And we've seen it so many times in this tournament that the Sanking's become pretty difficult to deal with.
Now Falcons, quick TP move down to the bottom tier 2 so they can try and strike Cloud9 from an angle they won't expect. No one's already seen them though. Just looking to protect the power in spawn, force back Cloud9, but as I say, Cloud9, they're not going to be too afraid of taking the fight when it presents itself, especially if they have the crucial information on who to jump, and both of Cloud9's supports ready with these reactive ultimate to try and break apart anything that Falcons throw in as a team.
As long as they don't lose somebody before the fights, they should have pretty good options to take those 5v5s. And
he's safe, he's safe.
This time he does get away. They're dodging nicely, and Watson is getting very, very farmed in comparison to Skitter. Skitter's being very involved, constantly looking for these plays with the Blink Dagger. Watson's getting involved, but he's a Luna, so he just naturally farms absurdly fast. Level 16 already up on him.
And no doubt about it, this game too, definitely going to be much more of a challenge for Falcons as opposed to the experience they had in game 1. Cloud9 getting everything together this time. It's falling into place much nicer than what they tried to do with the first match.
So much nicer to just Luna in comparison to Terrorblade just looks night and day difference, really.
Starting to make the move through Falcons jungle. Cloud9.
They're very close to BKB on no one as well too, which is going to protect him a lot versus that chain stun burst.
Who's going to make the jump first? They've got eyes on towards the mid.
See Katomi.
And it's going to be the jump for Skeeter first. Straight over towards the Wyvern. They burst through Katomi before he can get off a single spell. This is over towards DM. See if they can chain this into anything else. Falcons, DM. It's got Burst Strike up in a second. And with the cogs down, it's hard to reach over and grab him. They'll turn for Fishman instead. As Maureen comes in with a Chakram slow. A second kill to be found. Maureen once more, but they're going to turn straight away with the burst. The Eclipse. They bait him in. They turn around and kill him off. They take down Maureen.
He's not able to get that reactive armor off. Instant stun comes out. Beautifully done.
Quick moves, and of course a high value kill there going into the hands of Watson, who gets the last touch onto him.
DM, nicely done. Plays it careful, pulls the creep wave up. Okay, so a little bit of a mistake there, of course, from Katomi. I was surprised that he showed himself just standing in the wave like that when he initially gets caught, but then afterwards, Maureen overextends forward, and yeah, like you said, Watson, a huge kill.
That's a massive kill. Yeah, 3-0-4. It's propelled him pretty much halfway through the gold towards the BKB.
Yeah, over 600 gold he got for it, so pretty massive.
And Watson definitely in a solid position to be able to carry this game. Falcons, they've got to deal with the Luna somehow.
Skitter gonna focus maybe a little bit more on getting that farm going so that he can try to match his... Drop him a little low, they'll be alright.
And Falcons, what do you think the move's going to be now from them? Is it just to try and look for these pickoffs?
I think so, just look for fights. Yeah, absolutely. They've got the pipe and the Mage Slayer now, so they do have heavy damage mitigation versus the Sand King.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to... Oh, with the Power Strike of the Bloodstone Hill, is it enough to keep him alive? No. Free fire nuke from Skeeter finishes off the job before things start to get messy.
Hey, that's Mage Slayer plus pipe, so even though he's got Bloodstone, even if he gets it off, he's going to die because he's not doing too much damage.
Skeeter, he's trying to see if he can get the catch on a Fishman. Fishman got the jetpack, trying to make it up the base. Dragon Tail will connect. Maureen in with the Chakram damage. They've got the cold embrace. The burst is enough to go straight through it and take him down.
He gets the reactive off, so he knows he can dive deep there.
Creeps pressuring in on the top as well. Falcons can look to try for finishing off the tier 2.
DM has to be more careful with his positioning a lot now. It's 5 deaths for him. Yes, he's tanky. Yes, he's got his Bloodstone, but they've got the ways now to address it. has to be more careful when his team is not near him. Smoke is up.
They want to fight this Cloud9, no one. Looking to start things with a blink out. It's quick. We'll be able to keep that tier 2 up. Force Falcons back. The remainder of the smoke, they could look to just try and turn this move into something else.
Watson has a huge power spike. BKB plus level 18. He really wants to get involved. He wants to force an issue here to potentially get a fight into a Roche right afterwards. Can they catch anyone here?
Well, they hit the scan. They know someone was up there, but Amar already backing off.
It's 20 seconds until that arena is back up. Cloud9 trying to capitalize. Can't quite find anything. Have to go back to address their lanes a little bit here. No one is still smoked up for a moment, but just gonna look to play around Watson.
Now Mallory wants the BKB online before the next fight.
Makes sense. Tons of magical bursts. Could definitely see multiple of these being picked up soon. But the auras, they're definitely there. They're starting to get there at least on one side. Cloud9 not seeing any of these auras being built up yet, except for DM, who's... How close is he? Actually, he's about to have that pipe. Okay, so definitely going to see these big fights kick off with crazy damage mitigation. If DM's able to survive in these fights, could be very impactful.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Sort of between the pipe active and passive, the aura, and then obviously the cold embrace, there's good chances for saves to come out from Cloud9, keeping one another alive, even if Falcons do really focus their burst on a target.
They just have to be very good with this positioning. I've seen now a couple times Katomi slightly out of position, same thing for DM, so just got to make sure that they have that blanket to protect Watson. And now making another clever move here. Daytime, they can go for this Roche. They see Heroes top.
And with Watson as large as he is, should be a pretty quick Roshan. Falcons, looks like they may just settle for taking the 2 tier 2s, get that top one, maybe even pushing on towards the mid. As I imagine they're going to expect that this Roshan is occurring, but not making any movements towards it. So this Rosh should freely fall into the hands of Cloud9.
Feels like one of the closer games that we've had so far on this main stage, especially in this mid game. Sometimes we've had toward the later stages, but this one's kicking off beautifully. Watson, absolutely enormous. Skinner is starting to catch back up there, of course, but yeah, still a bit of a deficit for him in that Luna. The team fight execution, it's going to have to be massive. We saw Falcons last game have some pretty crazy kind of kiting around when Cloud9 hit a timing. See how it's going to go down this next one. Both teams gathered up.
Well, Falcons not afraid to fight into the Aegis. They've got eyes on towards Watson. If they want to head over, they're going to maybe look for no one instead. They'll get the opening Dragon Cells done. He's not going to get the chance to get anything off. He was considering looking to turn up and help out, and of course he feels strong with the BKB and Aegis. Does have the rest of the team relatively close, but they won't, and they don't need to force it, right? They've still got 4 minutes to play with Sages. No need to try and find a fight whilst no one's out of the game.
They need the numbers. They always need to have this, like, they can't fight 4v5 pretty much in any means unless it's some crazy high ground advantage that Watson has possession of. And this is a high ground advantage, but they are under vision at the moment. This could be dangerous right now for Cloud9. They see it coming. They have that ward in mid lane, so they do see Skeeter stepping over.
Just keeping their distance, Cloud9.
Watson's turning up. The respawn is coming. Her Spirit's coming back very soon.
They've got to get some sort of big connection with either the hook shot or the curse to try and start the action off. Falcons not letting them have it. They split back up as soon as no one's back in the game.
Just these macro plays, reading the map, not wanting to force an issue into a 5v5 that could be dangerous versus this Aegis. They just still want to play around those pickoffs and wait until that Aegis goes down before a full fight.
All right, it's really going to be on Cloud9 to
now it's time
to charge at them, get aggressive, force some sort of action to occur, but between these 3 minutes of the Aegis.
Might just go for perhaps maybe hitting a tower or something here. It's always dangerous though versus Falcons. Gonna set up top. They did see Amar for a second here. Amar backpacking the pipe so that he doesn't show the aura in the wave, even though he's not next to it. Can he get out?
They're gonna see him just the moment he's out. Amar making the call just in time.
They're playing the map beautifully on Falcons. The advantage that Cloud9 has with this Aegis, we're just seeing the gold lead actually increase for Falcons because they're just dodging the movements that are coming out.
Yeah, it feels like it's definitely going to take Cloud9 to just be a bit more heavy-handed with the pushing up towards the towers.
It's just scary.
If they want to get involved in some action. Because, Falcons, they're not letting them get it anywhere else.
No, it's just scary sometimes going for like a tier 2 or something versus this much team fight.
I blink dagger now as well on Amar. He's going to be ready with the setup, ready to throw that extra sort of threat in towards the backlines, towards the supports of Cloud9.
They have a blink. I mean, DM is going BKB. Okay, so they're going to have to pretty much completely rely on no one in a lot of these situations to just start the fight. Fishman can hook shot, but it's kind of suicide.
DM, they're watching him in the river.
Uh-oh.
He was walking down the river. Ahmad's going to get the opening. He was able to break out with the burrow strike, though. DM, of course, incredibly tanky between the pipe and the bloodstone, so gets away with that.
That is the arena used. So Cloud9 could look to try to punish this, at least pressure a tower here off of that. They still have, what, about 100 seconds on this Aegis.
It should be clean enough to get the tier 2 without the threat of the arena.
Falcons, I wouldn't imagine they'd look for this fight.
Radiant structures are fortified.
I might look for Fishman in the mid.
Off, though.
Looking for the setup, and the spear back as he's caught up in the air during the jetpack. I'll find Fishman, but tier 2 down bottom should slowly but surely fall here to the push of Watson. Getting very close to making it towards his next item, the full counter.
Look at this, they're setting up for the fight potentially. No one is TPing back. They don't have the clock for 30 seconds. Aegis still about 60.
Dyer's middle tower.
Is Watson going to come back as well? He doesn't have a TP right now, Watson.
That is very true.
That's true. One of those situations, the carry's not got a TP. So Watson's going to have to make the long walk across the map.
Should have time to. Amp damage spawns up top. No one. He wants to claim that.
Oh, he really does. He's not going to be able to, though. Skeeter gets the pick up first. Look at the burrow strike connection in on the walls. Crit, they'll try and separate them from him, but Crit's gone.
Skeeter, no one's trying to chase him.
Be able to turn in with the Yule's control. Katomi using the curse just to try and momentarily hold back Snaking. DM, he's revving up the epicenter just to blow up the Enchantress. It's a couple of support kills here for Cloud9. The cause of Falcons will manage to escape.
It's a lot committed. I did not expect him to actually blow the epicenter there for that Enchantress. So 100 seconds, they won't have that. Watson is going to capitalize that the supports are dead, though. Has a full Conda, has the Vindicators actually. Push top, no one.
And the Yule setup's not going to be quite there, Marv. Still be able to find the spear follow-up there from Skeeter's initiation. They kill no one anyway.
Keep catching them when they split off. Every time that they split up on the side of Cloud9, Falcons is able to capitalize and get these type of jump kills.
Are scared.
Got to be careful when they split.
They're very, very quick with these moves. Each and every step that Cloud9's trying to make against Falcons, Falcons just staying that slight step ahead.
It's like one step, and then the next team gets like a 1.2 steps. It's very back and forth. But yeah, Falcons are just playing around those timings and keep getting these big core kills during a big burst that Watson had with the Aegis. We're able to get, what, 2 tier 2s out of it? And a decent amount for him. He is level 20, so he does have a pretty big surge as well.
Yeah, Skeeter pretty much with the full BKB ready for the next fight that Falcons can look for, so he can really get stuck in.
He did need it. You saw in that last fight when no one was starting to stick on him, it was a little bit dangerous for a second there. So now he will have that. Malvarine also does get this 20 talent, 20% magic resist. Quite a bit stronger.
Yeah, both mids, I think, closing in towards the full Shiva's guard. Falcons, they're going to be the ones to look for the play first. The smoke up comes.
Big one. This will be that big clash. Who's going to get into the back lines? Can they burst heroes before these BKBs come off?
No one. Maybe the first one to be spotted. See how quick the reaction is. The scans hit. They know exactly where Cloud9 are. Cloud9's own scan, I believe, didn't quite catch on to the smoke movement of Falcons. So no one, he's not going to expect this. There's the jump forward. The curse will come out, but it doesn't matter. No one. Immediately killed off, and now Amai's ready for more. Yule setups there. Arena's down. Katomi. He'll try and freeze himself to survive, but there's no getting out of this one. Immediate moves there from Falcons. The Cloud9, they just weren't quite ready for us. I think the scan, it was so close to connecting, but it did not hit, so they did not anticipate Falcons to strike from that angle.
I mean, they're trying to bait no one, but the cold embrace and the curse overall, if they get these BKBs off, the damage is just too explosive. And now to the high ground, these 2 kills are pretty massive.
Absolutely, straight away to the tier 3s. Watson, he's getting caught with the Dragon Tail. He tries to turn up for the defense, he gets the BKB off, but he's already pulled down to about half HP. We'll look to turn now with the Eclipse. The Skeeter puts the BKB in and gets forced down to the low ground.
That's his BKB.
Oh, that was risky there. I mean, Watson will get to live to tell the tale. Falcons, they're still pushing on and finding kills, killing off Fishman. The push still comes in.
And it's just, they're gonna back away right now. They're a little bit scared because that respawn from no one.
Yeah, they know no one himself. He's still got his BKB ready to pop.
And they don't feel like they need to risk anything. They got what they came for, at least a little bit. A couple kills here, force a BKB reaction from the Luna. Reset. Cooldown on BKB is going to be about 60 seconds on Watson.
Scary moment there, though, for Cloud. Now, they've got to be so prepared. We've seen how quick every single time Skeeter is when he plays the Dragon Knight. He sees a chance to just throw himself in and get in with that instant Dragon Tail. He'll go for it.
They have to be just like prepared with, I mean, honestly, both of the supports have to be there, ready to just give their lives for any of these cores that get jumped immediately on the side of Cloud9.
And that's obviously where Katami trying to get that BKB online for himself, so he can have that safe way to play his hand without any interruption. Watson is going to, we saw there obviously even that they did get the jump on him, he's pretty tanky, and once he's able to start work on his Satanic, it's definitely likely that unless all 5 of Falcons are really going at him, he'll probably survive through the stun.
He should be able to, yes. And DM overall now will have a blink very soon too, so I want to see him also be able to play a little more aggressive, because it's been a bit passive from him. He's just been able to sit back and farm, which is fine, but he's gotten caught a few times because of it. They need ways to be able to enable Watson a little bit better so that he can actually stand his ground with the Satanic and stuff. BKB also now finished up on staking. He is transitioning, starting to become that kind of that 4th core in a way. Similar to what Falcons likes to do a lot of times.
Yeah, you can never underestimate the damage that can come out from the Enchantress as these moments pass. There's so many things that Cloud9 have to consider when they look for their way into the fight. I guess the good news is for them that they do have multiple jumps themselves, right? The blink on DM, the hook shot.
Now they do, yeah.
And now, obviously, no one. He's going to be the first probably to go in each and every time on his Earth Spirit.
I kind of want to see one of the supports on Cloud9 maybe get like a 4-staff or something just to be able to reposition, because if they're able to just get these type of chain stuns and just instant burst somebody, it's a big problem. So if they can at least just stop that for a quick second or something there, it could be huge, because I see even Malrine, I believe he just picked up a blink too. So Falcons is looking to just detonate a hero immediately on the first stun.
Oh, yeah, this could be quite the explosive fight. Falcons, 5-man smoke heading straight towards Cloud9, but Cloud9, they're through the twin gate.
The Roche is going to start respawning soon. 40 seconds. They're both looking to prepare for it.
Yeah, Falcons can set things up down here. I guess when it spawns, it's going to be close to moving to the other side of the map. Yep. So just really a case of who sets up on which corner.
Ooh.
Coming back through here, Cloud9. At least Fishman starting to tentatively lead the way.
Trying to catch the back line is pretty important. Fishman has a ward available.
Watson on the tree line. I mean, Skeeter. Maori's going to hunt things out in the trees. He's going to find Watson, try and force some sort of reaction from him. Watson trying to stand his ground, but takes a heavy amount of burst hit from the chakram. Now there's a jump as well. The Dragon Tail. Watson needs help. He needs it out. The curse comes out, but Maori pops the BKB. So he's able to continue to lay down the damage onto Watson, take out the Luna. Now a turn towards Katsuomiya. Amar gets caught by the silence, but they're running towards DM. DM has to put the BKB himself. Maori's killing off the backline, stays on top of Katsuomi, finishes off the Wyvern, and now he's ready to swing back over and help the rest of the team chase down more. DM has to run.
He's 70 seconds without Watson. They can look to either go for the Roche or pressure here. Falcons just too good at executing these fights.
Very well.
I mean, Malrine just continues.
He's feeling very, very confident with the amount that he's typing. Amar, he'll get the catch on towards DM. They're bringing in the damage. DM caught by the Dragon Tail. He's out as well. 3 dead. And the 2 of them, as you point out, they don't have buyback. No buyback on Watson or DM. They're short on the gold.
Oh, and they're just decimating them and dancing on them in these fights. It's similar like last time. It really is. They know exactly how to approach these fights. Malrine just jumps in, gives the information with the Shivas, and just forces so many problems. Cloud9 don't want to make the first move, and they're getting punished because of it.
This is going to be a heavy push coming in from Falcons. They're going to be able to take quite a lot here from Cloud9.
There's just no way to protect Watson, it feels like.
This mid-Brax, it's gone for sure. We'll see how much more they can take whilst Watson and DM are down.
Falcons just, they're too good at coordinating these fights. Cloud9, it feels like they have to start doing something a bit chaotic to not allow Falcons just cast all their spells freely. They have to just try to start fights in more of a chaotic manner to let Watson actually play his hero. Because he just died, 100-0.
They could not quite save him.
And it's never really going to be the case with the Cold Embrace or with that Curse versus these heroes. If they get the BKB up first, they're going to be able to just pierce through it. And now Rush, it's up.
I think Cloud9, they've got to try and tackle this. They can't sit back and let this go to Falcons. They need to look for the fight at the Roche pit.
Look at Mars item build. Something I don't think you'll see too often from any other Mars player, but very interesting stuff going on here. Crazy catch range that he can use on his Yules. I mean, everything's increased AoE. This is an interesting approach.
All right, let's see if it pays off. So far, so good. They're sitting at a 16k lead, and they're on the verge of taking this Roche.
Look
Unless
at how-
Cloud9 can do something crazy.
He can play so far back and jump the back line.
No one's going to try scouting things out. Rolls in immediately, but Maureen, he's ready to respond and gets to jump over towards Fishman. Fishman drops the cogs down, but Fishman, he's going down for sure. See if Falcons can look to chase out more. The sun's there, but no one quick with the BKB. He's going to roll in aggressively, looks to start the fight back. DM's in with the control on towards Maureen, but Maureen pops the BKB. Watson hasn't got enough damage at this stage to take the Temples down. The arena's there. The spirit of the two of them. Amar able to catch both as they burn through DM. Watson's BKB soon to come to an end. He's got to start backing away here with no one. Skeeter does with the drag tail. The curse is out, but Skeeter puts the BKB before so he can continue to beat into no one. Turn towards Kataomi in the tree line. The cold embrace ain't gonna save him as Kataomi's out as well. Only Watson getting out alive, and Fishman, it's a dieback from him.
Oh, and they're just too damn good at executing these fights. Cloud9 tries to cause this type of panic. They tried to do the chaos. Again, Falcons, they just danced on it. Amar patiently waiting in the sidelines till those BKBs go down. He gets the two crucial targets. Watson's able to reset, but the damage is done. 4 heroes gone.
And they just don't have the buybacks yet. DM still short on the money. Same to be said for Watson. Even if he goes in and tries to stop them, he's only going to have one chance of slowing down this push from Falcons. Cloud9, are they even going to get a chance to come in with one final fight here in their attempt to hold on in the International? The top racks are gone. Amara Malrine working on the bottom set.
Might be one last try in 15 seconds, but it might just be a Megas already afterwards.
With the fortification that they're going to have one more fight in this Cloud9. It has to be better than anything we've ever seen from them so far this series.
Malrine just pops the BKB. Won't be able to finish up the Mega Creeps. Respawns are coming out, no one.
Oh, Watson? He's got to be careful if Falcons are backing off.
Can they stop the TP?
It's going to be tempting. Maureen, he's already out. They weren't able to reach in and punish the TP out right underneath their noses. Get away. Spear as well, stopping no one from getting a catch onto Amar. They just cannot punish Falcons as Falcons. They'll safely retreat. I mean, Falcons, they didn't finish up the bottom set of racks, though, so Mega Creeps aren't up quite yet against Cloud9.
When was the last time that Cloud9 got a core kill? It's been 18 minutes since they've been able to find any of the core heroes on the side of Falcons. It's just supports. Every single one of these fights, they just tank the spells and then the cores are just able to reign supreme. And it's just over and over again that they're able to get these resets as well, too. A telescope now for Amar, finished getting up these tier 4 neutrals and Roche. I don't know if they're going to be able to make it in time.
I think this time around, they've just got to let it go. Can they really make it to Roche in time? Or do they have to just settle for the high ground?
They're going to be able to scout it at least constantly with these rockets.
That's true. They might be tempted. But Amar and Malrine, they're ready with the counterplay, hiding in this tree line.
And Fishman go for some type of steal play. Falcons is stopping.
It might be worth trying
moment.
for it. But I'm saying that though, he of course his buyback's on cooldown, so would be him out for good if he does go for that sort of play. I mean,
He's
DM and
opening up the
Fishman are
slots.
tempted.
There, he just put 2 backpack bracers. Okay, put him back in. Falcons is...
It's slowing Falcons down a little bit. They keep backing out of the pit in anticipation of the fight. They're quickly to collapse back in and take the Aegis, take Roshan down. Falcons in prime position now to go for that killing blow.
Snaky has a moon shard as well, too. I mean, the damage is coming out from everybody on this lineup is absurd. Just who do you go for it at this point, really, on Cloud9? Like, you need to just try to find this back line, but the front line is the issue, too. Oh, the bottle drop.
What damage set up here for Watson?
This could be crucial. They need all the damage
They
get, it
do.
feels like.
This gives them a little bit of a hope.
Small. Very small. See if they can execute it on the high ground here. Falcons, they seem to be ready to go in.
They do.
Level 25 on Malrine.
Snake King trying to get some information first.
Oop, little awkward there.
They're going to back off. Oh, Trusty! Catch the Snaky, but Mari's in straight around towards Fishman. No one's going to look to back Fishman up. Rolls forward with the BKB. They get the burst strike connects on towards Amar, but Fishman's gone. Watson moves in with the Eclipse, but they get the jump on him with the Dragon Tail. He's caught, and Watson stands his ground, or at least attempts to do so against the DK, and he's succeeding. Skinner's getting brought down, like they're taking him down once. Can they do it again? He's still got the BKB ready to go. Over towards the arena. They managed to kill Amar off. Immediate buyback comes out for no one as Cloud9 know with Amar gone. Maybe this is their chance to take a fight and to hold on in this game. Watson pushing forward. Can they find more in the tree line? Blast will catch over towards the trees, but Skeeter, he's in on Kataomi. The curse is there, but the damage from the impetus bringing Kataomi down low. Get the cold embrace off. Kataomi tries to scramble back over towards his teammates, but he'll get left behind. Kataomi out for 50. Buybacks available.
Skeeter looks like he wants to try to continue chasing Watson.
Oh, and
He
they
gets
found
caught.
him! Skeeter's in with the Dragon Tail. Watson's not going to be getting back to the base right now. The buybacks are coming out. They're trying to save him, but Watson's gone. Out for 90. No one. He's got them coming in with a bow trap, but they just don't have the damage to kill Falcons off as Maureen survives. No one has the Emma gone. GG is called. Falcons take the series 2-0, and it's the end of the line here for Cloud.